I do not know if you had the chance to read the novel Hope for the Flowers by Trina Paulus. The story of this novel is both interesting and inspiring, which I would highly recommend for the young people to read at least once. It is a story about a column of caterpillars who are all crawling and trampling on each other in their rush to reach the top. All of them seem to have just one goal: to reach the top. But interestingly, no one knows what is on the top. This story very much resembles our own life stories. Sometimes we human beings rush through life in our craze to achieve and be successful, knowing not who we are and where we are going. Just like the caterpillars, we all rush to the top, knowing not what's on the top. In the process, we struggle, we suffer, and we kick and kill those who are on the way. In our rush to climb to the top, we care less if we have trampled on others. That's where we hurt and ruin our relationships. Satisfying our desire becomes so important for us that we fail to understand where we are going and why we are rushing. The tragedy of life is that we focus on satisfying our immediate desires and yet never get satisfied. Our desires are endless. When we satisfy one desire, another crops up. We run after the things of this world, thinking that they will give us the satisfaction. But the more we run after them, the more restless we become. This is what happened to Saint Augustine. For several years, he ran after the created things of this world, forgetting the Creator, until one day he came to a great realization and said, "Our hearts were made for you, O Lord, and they are restless until they rest in you." God has created us so that we may find Him deep within us, in our hearts, beyond our body and mind, in our soul consciousness. Sooner or later, we all need to realize that we are made for eternity and for a higher purpose. We are infinite and knowledgeable beings. Therefore, we cannot be content with ignorance, just satisfying our immediate desires. The very fact that we are never satisfied in spite of all our achievements proves that we are infinite beings and made for everlasting happiness. We are here to discover the truth about ourselves, and once we know the truth about ourselves, we are free from all our attachment, says John chapter 8 verses 31 to 32. It is our failure to realize the higher purpose of our life that makes us often get settled with the pleasurable things of this world, such as drugs, alcohol, and other mundane things that give us momentary happiness. Let me once again take you back to our story, Hope for the Flowers. The highlight of the story is the great realization Stripey, the main character in the story, had. Looking at the purposeless behavior of his fellow caterpillars, one day Stripey wonders, there must be more to life than just eating leaves. When all other caterpillars rushing to the top, Stripey questions the very purpose of his existence. He realizes that there is a butterfly in each caterpillar, which needs to be set free. Giving birth to that butterfly is what makes life meaningful and worth living. This realization takes him on a new path, and soon he realizes his dream. So then, what are the ingredients of a successful life? I believe it is knowing oneself, believing in oneself, mastering one's mind, and releasing the unlimited potentials. However, this does not happen to us overnight. It is an ongoing process, and meditation is one good strategy to go through this process. When I say meditation, it is not just 1 hour of peaceful time. Rather, it's an ongoing process of realization where we free ourselves from all the attachments and achieve pure consciousness. The purpose of the meditation is to take us from ignorance to enlightenment, from ego consciousness to soul consciousness. Therefore, the ultimate purpose of our life is self-actualization, to become what we are made for, to become the persons we are meant to be by our Creator. The purpose of our life is to become the butterfly and savor the nectar of life rather than just eat leaves and crawl around aimlessly as the caterpillars do. True happiness lies in discovering who we are and why we exist here on earth. Keep in mind, you are made for something higher. You are here to bring happiness to God.